Hello everyone, welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. My name is Dean the Artist. Let's continue, shall we? Yeah. The next day I end up having to hunt around a bit. At the start of lunch, when I find that my usual vending machine near the dormitory buildings is sold out of my usual favorite canned coffee, the detour takes longer than I expected. Things have been so hectic lately that it takes some time for me to register why something smells different as I walk through the school gardens back to the cafeteria. The grass has been freshly removed. The realization makes me pause and watch for a bit. The odd group of students chatting or playing around on the grass and a couple of teachers conversing on the path ahead make for a very idyllic scene. Unfortunately, a feeling of imminent dread starts creeping up on me. After a while, the feeling that I'm not alone. Hey, Zao, is that you? Yeah, it's me. I guess I should be happy it's him and not, say, a slasher. Kenji begins talking as if he's having a conversation with someone other than me. Knew it. That haircut is unmistakable. No normal person would have a haircut like that. Unconsciously, I start touching the back of my head. Once I realize what I'm doing, I feel insulted, yet too surprised to even get indignant about it. Yeah, what are you doing here? Measuring the temperature. Winter will come soon. It'll be too cold for women to go out and have their sex in the city style power lunches, followed by obstruction of human wave formation walks in crowded urban areas. When this happens, man will be able to walk the streets unfettered once again and reclaim what is his heritage. In order to prepare for that day, I've been eating nothing but pizzas for the past week to store energy. Okay. That's what bears do. So, there's so much we can learn from the bear. Kenji nods, emphatically agreeing with himself. Okay, so check this shit out. I was in town today buying milk, and they had a new clerk, some hipster girl with a baseball cap and two hockey sticks on it. I'll call her hipster hockey baseball hat girl. I noticed the milk didn't have a price tag, so I told her to get over there and label that milk for future generations. He was in town today. He must have cut his morning classes. I want to scold him, but his verbal torment prevents me from getting a word in. She told me not to bother her because she was sick. We live in society here. You can't just opt out of human interaction because you're sick. Do you know how much effort it takes me to get up in the morning? I still do though, and I got up that morning to go down there and buy milk. Not to have my vile question just brushed aside by some hipster doofus college girl who wears a hockey baseball cap to work indoors. Anyway, I was just trying to uphold the integrity of our products. A milk carton without a price tag, when I see something like that, it just leads to questions, important questions. It's her job to answer them, damn it. That's the problem with women. They have no sense of duty. What the hell, Kenji? I get diarrhea a lot, but you don't see me complaining about it. I soldier on and do what I have to do anyway, because that's what being a man is all about. Even if you have diarrhea, you keep going for the dream of a better tomorrow. You know, frequent diarrhea is bad. Maybe you should stop drinking so much milk. I can't do that. It's what allows me to maintain my awesome strength. And in this world, a man's strength is the only thing that can't be browbeaten out of him by an increasingly pussy-whipped society. That's why I walk around leaving open jars of olives everywhere. Sometimes just to show that I can. Do you refrigerate after opening? What? Man, I don't know. That's not important. You have to refrigerate after opening. Even elementary kids know that. They can't get the jar open in the first place, so it doesn't matter. That's true. I'm a genius. He self-assuredly rubs his chin, which is something I imagine scientists did until I met Mutuo and was tremendously let down. Anyway, I can't go to that store again since it's clearly been compromised by bitches. Unless I disguise myself. Maybe a change to a different pair of glasses. Worst disguise ever. It's been working flawlessly all these years. I don't even need glasses to see their full effect. Also, to protect my identity. I'm like Superman. Worst disguise ever. I'm telling you, when people see my school ID, they can't even recognize me. Really? Let's see. Can't do that. I can't go around showing my ID to everyone. It was made long ago, in a different time. I had hippie hair. While I'm trying to imagine that, Kenji takes his glasses off. He squints as soon as they're off his face, which makes him look even more tired than he already does. He was right. He does look very different. Kind of like he hasn't slept in years. Not different enough for it to be a good disguise, though. You need more sleep. Nah. You look like you need it. No way. These are the eyes of a man who has seen things. A shaman's eyes. Terrible things that you can't imagine. Like when I made a ship in a bottle and my mom sat on it. There was blood and shreds of floral print everywhere. That's just what life experiences. Kenji doesn't seem very horrified. Even though I think this is actually the first thing he told me about himself that could have been legitimately traumatic. He's also talking about 30 degrees to my left, so I guess his blindness is real. I wave a hand in front of him anyway to little effect. Man, I hope you realize that I'm just joking. I laugh, pretending that I did. Somehow, looking at him in the eyes is more difficult than usual. Want some trivia? People with small eyes wear big glasses. I've read that somewhere. Because it makes your eyes look less beady? Really? I didn't know that. He puts his glasses back on, and I feel oddly relieved for a moment, until I remember that I still have to deal with him, glasses or not. Well, anyway, the artist girl wanted to paint my portrait once, I think. I had to talk to her like 5 minutes before she started making sense. Must have been Rin, I suppose. What did she look like? I don't know, a woman with sandals? I was hoping he'd say something more specific, like she had no arms. Rin doesn't wear sandals, but I feel like the chance of there being another free-spirited female art student wearing sandals besides her is reasonably high. I was thinking, sure, someday after I burn all documentation that I exist, it might be okay to leave a portrait behind so that people can look at it and remember the savior of mankind. They'll need it to model the statue. Then I thought about it some more, and I had to turn her down. It was tempting, but she wanted it for some school thing. It would be displayed. People will ask who I was, only I haven't saved society yet, so it would be pointless. And then if someone recognized me, I'd have to explain myself. It's already a chain of events I don't want to deal with. I don't want to get mixed up in some weird situation. Shit like that always happens. Sticking out is a surefire way to get put on a list. That's why I make such a careful effort to blend in with people in my daily life until I can make my move. Sure. What list? There are many lists. So what are you doing here anyway? Nothing. I kinda got here by accident. Happens to me all the time. Well, I hope that works out for you. I think I'm gonna go back to my dorm room. I need to set my TV to record my shows. You have TV? Yes. You should come over sometime and we can watch the game in high definition. Before I ask him what he's talking about, he's gone. He left like he came, with zero respect towards other people. Kind of amazing. Now that Kenji is gone, I resumed looking aimlessly at the school gardens in their summer splendor. It's no use. He ruined them for me. When I get back to the cafeteria, exhausted, but alive, I think of eating lunch with Shizune again, but find her sitting at a table with Misha already. If it were anyone else, I would think how they were too far away for me to hear them. This is Shizune and Misha, however. If I wanted to, I could eavesdrop on their conversation easily. What a dirty thing to think about, but it's there. I don't want to, though. They must have a lot of catching up to do. Even if it's only been a few days, I'm inclined to just leave them alone so they can just do just that. However, the second they see me, They waved me over. Hi, Yi-chan. Hearing her voice again, even after such a short time apart, is jarring. I wince. These past few days, I'd forgotten that communication with Shizune is almost entirely silent. Concentrating on getting it right, I had tuned out even ambient noise. Well, I'll get used to it again. I'm glad she is back. I'm done making up all my work just in time. I won't have to miss the festival. If they really tried to enforce that, I would pull you out on student council business. If they really tried to enforce that, you would pull me out on student council business? That's an abuse of power. No, it isn't, Hee-chan. Hee-chan says that if there was only 2 student council members overseeing the festival, it would be a problem, wouldn't it? Yeah, definitely. It has to be at least 3. It's good for everyone. It's perfectly reasonable. Yes, it's necessary. Shizune leans it across the table a bit as Misha delivers her slightly disturbing materialistic justifications in a childish, bubbly up-and-down tone. Shizune looks so happy, though, tenting her fingers and trying to hold back a laugh as Misha pouts more seriously on her behalf. If you say so. I'm actually happy right now that we can talk so easily to each other, all 3 of us. In the beginning, I thought I might have found myself in a bad situation. I was sure that Shizune would hate getting saddled with it being a tour guide for the new guy. I didn't want to be that kind of burden either. It would be awkward even if she weren't deaf and mute, so just now she said that we would all have to be at the festival. The whole student council. I don't think that the student council has any real jurisdiction over Tanabata. It's only Shizune's way of saying that she wants us to spend it together. It's nice to have friends. It's a simple thought, but one that makes me genuinely happy. That we could all slip into being such with so much ease. Despite the roundabout way in which she said it, I'm glad that Shizune thinks it strongly enough to express it at all. Why did you wait until we waved you over to come sit with us? A question out of nowhere. Shizune's eyes are expectant as Misha repeats her message. I feel like teasing her. You want me to sit with you that badly? We're in the student council. We should sit together as much as possible. It's logic. Anyone would jump at the chance to sit with 2 cute girls anyway. She pauses, in case I might say something like, "You're not that cute," and instantly lock myself in an obvious no-win situation. When I don't take the bait, Shizune becomes more energetic and continues. You're abnormal. Well, I didn't expect her to end it like that. You're too quick to call other people so abnormal, so arrogant. You're too quick to call other people arrogant. That makes you arrogant, and arrogance is also abnormal. You're double abnormal. It doesn't work that way, it's a sliding scale. Leaning on her arm, Misha closes her eyes and lets out a low, slow laugh, like a chuckle. Don't laugh. Don't laugh in this kind of situation. I notice that Misha signs everything I say to Shizune anyway, even though I'm signing myself. This is redundant, but it's an unconscious action for Misha. On the other hand, I can't stop. I let myself take it easy and sign less just because Misha is back. Then, what was all this for? I don't want to risk losing familiarity with how to sign either. My hands are pretty slow to speak on my half as it is. Hee-chan, you and Chi-chan talk to each other much more now. Back and forth. It's really funny too, like an old married couple, right? What a loaded comment in so many ways. Although, because it's Misha, it can't have been on purpose. That's not a compliment. Shizune doesn't react to Misha trying to pair the 2 of us up. Maybe she didn't see it? Sometimes it does happen, I've noticed. I still wonder if it's really that simple, and why I care so much. But I don't want to think about it too hard. I want to leave. I keep thinking that I'm hogging Misha's time with Shizune, and that it could be that Misha cut in just now on purpose. Feeling that way too. I doubt that either of them will let me leave, though. In some ways, they are too nice. Anyway, Shizune, if you really want to know, I didn't want to sit here because I didn't want to intrude. I thought that because Misha being away for supplementary lessons or whatever, you two would have a lot to talk about, and I should just leave you alone to catch up. That's why I thought I should just hang back. Don't worry, Misha, I'm not trying to monopolize Shizune. Hichan, it's not like that. You're so considerate, Hichan. Hichan is sorry and apologizes. I don't really think it's worth apologizing over, so don't worry about it. Hey, don't you both think that... Hey, don't you both think that since Misha is back, we should celebrate somehow? I think so. Hichan, usually having me make up work isn't something to celebrate over. No, it's a good idea. The timing is perfect, and Shizune said that the student council should have a little fun too. You probably heard of that too, right, Misha? It should be fine. Should be. Actually, wait a second. Don't you have to make up work because you were missing so many classes to begin with? So skipping out to celebrate would be kind of stupid. Maybe the timing isn't perfect like I said, but we could go after school. Where should we go? Misha speaks Chizune's question to her aloud before she even stops to think it over, both of them completely ignoring me. Hey, listen to me. Two-man short-sighted student council team. Well, Hichan, you're a part of this team too. Yeah, I guess I am. Yeah, you are, Hichan. So forgetful and troublesome. I feel sorry for the girl who falls in love with you. So, where do you think we should go? I'm laughing in spite of myself, wanting to point out how Misha seems so enthusiastic now, when she was the one who was most apprehensive about it a few seconds ago. For some reason, I can't bring myself to do it, but this is okay too. After a short discussion on where to go, it seems the only place all three of us know and are willing to travel to is the Shanghai. A tea house doesn't look like a bad place to celebrate, especially since I'm sure they sell cake there, and cake is the most celebratory food. I haven't seen Yuko in a while either, and neither have the girls. For all these reasons, plus the fact that it's so close, I end up standing in front of the little tea shop with Shizune and Misha before I know it. Welcome! It's been a while since I heard Yuko's voice. I'm so surprised all over again by the energy she puts into her greetings. It's kind of like an extremely nervous Misha. Hi, but you don't have to do that all the time if it's just us. Yes, I do. But... Okay, if you say so, Yuko. I take this moment to glance around the tea house, and notice that it is empty as ever. It's lunchtime, essentially the peak hour for an establishment of this type, and yet, it's as barren as ever. I don't understand. There has to be a reason for this. Shizune gently taps my arm to get my attention. What do you want to get? Yuko looks a little agitated after Misha automatically relays the question. No, I'm supposed to ask that. Is there anything I can do for you? Just some coffee for now, I guess, thanks. The dedication Yuko has toward her waitressing duties is sort of admirable. So is the speed at which she whisks slices of cakes and our drinks to our table when we order. Then again, we're the only customers here. Who knows what it would be like with a full house? Shizune and Misha immediately dig into their cakes with gusto, probably because they can't talk with utensils in their hands. The whole point of sharing a meal with friends like this is being able to talk over it after all. It makes sense that it would be the same with them. I'm briefly halfway through my cake when I hear their forks clinking as they set them down on their empty plates. It's not healthy to inhale your food. Hichan sounds like an old man. I cringe and instantly feel like I've been punched. Are you going to wear yukata tomorrow, Hichan? No, I don't even have one. Well, even if I did, I'm not the kind of guy who does stuff like that. What about you? Are you two going to dress up? Of course. What do you mean, of course? You didn't dress up last time. One time is not a trend. It's a completely different situation anyway. Aside from not being Tanabata, the festival was on school grounds. Students should wear their uniform on school grounds. Clearly a joke, but her delivery isn't any different from the usual. That isn't normal, but her sense of humor never was. And I'm used to it. I guess her way of saying outrageous things seriously is a little better than if she were to say serious things outrageously. What's more troubling in any case is that I've started to associate a voice with her signing, and it's clashing with how Misha says out loud everything Shizune signs anyway. I feel disoriented. I'll dress up this time. You'll see, Hee-chan. Not just Chi-chan, but me too. Maybe I'll change my hairstyle too. Don't do that, I can't imagine you looking differently. Shizune wags a finger and smiles. Such quick and firm disapproval. What if I were to change my hairstyle? Maybe you should grow your hair out and make it look like drills. She looks unamused. Luckily, I see Yuko making her way over, likely to clear our plates or ask if we need anything from her. Yuko, are you doing anything for Tanabata? Huh? It's like she was practicing how to most smoothly ask if I needed a refill of coffee while walking over. She has no idea what to do, having been asked a question first. I feel bad. Yes, I'm working. Yuko, they make you work on holidays? Aww. We have the most business on holidays, and sometimes tourists. I don't mind, I have to do my best. I understand completely. So admirable. Shizune holds her head in solidarity, feeling a kind of kinship with Yuko through their shared determination to be the best. Although for her, it's a matter of pride, whereas Yuko might feel that she really, really needs this job and maybe a raise. The most business, huh? So how many people on average during a holiday? Well... Yuko walks away and starts cleaning a cup with swizzle sticks. That isn't polite. This is not what a proper waitress should do. Nevertheless, I sort of got my answer anyway. Clearly, business is scarce at best. I started to wonder again how the Shanghai remains open at all. Maybe this eclectic style of tea house is a trend that was outrageously successful before I got here, but isn't anymore, and they're just keeping it like this while they retool. Maybe the owner is rich and is involved in some sort of bet with someone else or a crazy scheme to see who can lose the most money. Maybe I just conveniently miss mobs of customers by seconds each visit. Or maybe this place is just a front for arms dealers. Since there's no one else here, why don't you sit down with us? We can talk about economic infeasibility, but Yuko doesn't take the bait, shaking her head from side to side emphatically. I've never really celebrated Tanabata before, or dressed up for anything like this. I'll finally be able to wear my yukata. Yay, yay. What do you mean never? What about last year? Last year, Chi-chan, me, and the 3-2 class rep ran a stall for the festival. It was a soba stall, I think. Yeah, it was, yep. The blind class rep of 3-2 must be Lily. I'm surprised they were able to work together on anything, but Misha would likely be the best possible buffer for that kind of thing with how innocent she is. Chi-chan cooked, and Lily took the orders, and I translated for them. Chi-chan kept saying, "It's so inefficient, Misha. Why do you have to be the middleman, as in, why is there a middleman in the first place, huh? It would be fine if I did all the cooking, you took the orders. It doesn't make sense at all." But I think everyone had fun in the end, right, Chi-chan? Shizune adjusts her glasses grudgingly, causing Misha to break into laughter. It was the old student council's idea, that's why. So what was the last student council like then? Shizune decides to step in again. Or it's more like she can't stop herself. Terrible. That was blunt. She ends with a shopping motion, as if passing judgment on them. I hope she's going to elaborate a little. At universities and some private schools, student councils can have over millions of yen of... At universities and some private schools, student councils can have control over millions of yen to budget and distribute as needed. Wow, really? Millions? Alright, and they were much more involved in school activities too, Hee-chan. I mean, in like games and anime, sure the student council is powerful, but like, I'm not exactly sure if that's even true. Like, that seems more like a representation of just, like, student stuff. Then again, Japan is different, so they probably do things differently over there, so I'm not exactly sure if that's accurate or not. From Misha's tone, it seems like this is newer to her than it is to me. This school student council was a joke in comparison. Don't give people positions of power if they don't have any power at all. What's the point? So, I wanted us to have more and more work. It was hard to convince the school and the other student council members to allow it. Actually, a lot of the work you've seen us do is really work that I took on, which is what Lily was talking about. If it wasn't for Chi-chan, student council would just file attendance reports day in and day out. Would you prefer that, Hee-chan? Of course, Hee-chan, as soon as the load started going up, most of the student council stopped coming. Shizune's fingers fold over each other carefully. It looks like she wants to add something, but can't bring herself to. Like she said, sign language gives you a little more time to think about what you say. I guess she feels like she can't talk about this. That was that then, and this is now. Let's just have fun tomorrow. That is what she finally settles for. Yeah. Okay then. The student council is adjourned for today. It has to be adjourned excitingly because today was a good day. School seems to be over by the time we leave the tea house, as I can see the students coming down from school as we walk up the road towards it. A couple of people wearing our school uniform look at Shizune as she walks by, and I wonder if they recognize her as a student council president, or if their eyes are just being drawn to Misha's head. It's impossible to not overhear the chatter in the air, and the topic is more often not plans for Tanabata. I wonder how many of them will be using or going to the stalls that I have reassembled. It makes me feel a little pride, an emotion I've never felt doing something for school. Maybe this is how Shizune feels as well? I almost want to ask, but it seems stupid to want to do so. So I just hold on to the thought as the three of us walk onto campus and then separate. Shizune to the student council room, and Misha and me to our dorms. It isn't until they're gone that I realize I again didn't ask when and where they wanted to meet up tomorrow. Even though it is a holiday, I wake up at the same time as usual, on a day when everyone else is likely sleeping for another 6 hours. I take my morning regimen of pills for the first time in a few days. I mean, that on top of the coffee that's a little, risky. Admittedly, I let my medication slip my mind, looking at the rows of bottles in front of me. I don't know how I managed to. 17 different medications. I feel full enough to skip breakfast after taking all of them. Yeah, also with, like, all the fried food and stuff. Yeah, Hizao is likely going to die very young in Shizune's route, I'm just gonna say that. Like... Okay. I need to rank, like, how Hizao lives. So basically, okay. Hizao is obviously gonna be the most healthy and probably successful in Emi's route, right? Even if he does get the bad ending, because he's probably he has the exercise. His heart is way stronger, even in the bad ending of Emi's route. So that's already top of the list. To tell you the truth, Rin, I think he would be more focused on being healthy as well, because the proximity to Emi. But I'm thinking that would be middle of the pack. Shizune, his health, I think, would be one of the worst in Shizune's route. I'm not going to talk about Lily or Hanako yet, because who knows, but... And then, of course, the Kenji... ending. He fucking dies, so that is obviously the very, very last one. So... 17 different methods. I feel full enough to skip breakfast after taking all of them. I'm already up, so I may as well take a walk. The weather looks nice. The weather looks nice outside, giving off an idyllic atmosphere I'd often dreamed of. It's always been kind of romantic. It's always been kind of a romantic notion to me to be able to meander around in the countryside, taking in the fresh air. Now that an opportunity to do just that is there, I can't resist, even though I know it must seem silly. I stop at the main building in order to buy a drink, and then decide to enter it, and maybe hang around the roof for a little bit. The view might be pretty cool at this time, and I'm sure nobody else would be up there either, and I've never been up there by myself. The school is quiet today, deserted. My footsteps echoing in the staircase to the roof are unnervingly loud. It shouldn't bother me due to how much time I've spent in sign language class, in near total silence, or working so much with Shizune lately, but it still does. It makes the smallest noises that I wouldn't have even noticed before seem boomingly loud. It feels like I'm sneaking around someplace I shouldn't be. I wonder why I'm getting that vibe. Maybe the school is haunted or something. When I open the door to the roof, I see I'm not alone. Misha leans against a fence, looking over the school grounds, not having noticed me at all. Instantly, I know what I have to do. I have to put my hands over her eyes and say, "Guess who?" It's the only option. Halfway, I start thinking how bad it would look if Shizune suddenly popped in, having left for a second to get some sandwiches and saw me sneaking up on Misha like this. I pray silently that such a coincidental misunderstanding doesn't happen. "Guess who?" "Hee-chan," she says, without hesitating for a second, without deviating even slightly from her normal tone. My phone was over before it even started. "Hi, Hee-chan. Good morning." She reflexively tries to move her hands to form a greeting and entangles them in the fencing. "Good morning. I didn't expect to find you here. What are you doing up so early?" "I can ask you the same thing, Hee-chan. What are you doing up so early? I didn't expect to find you here." "I asked you first." You're right, Hee-chan. Well, hahaha. You sound just like Chi-chan." "No, I don't," I say in the least convincing manner possible. Luckily, Misha doesn't notice what a bad actor I am. Are you looking forward to tonight?" "Of course, Hee-chan. I don't like celebrations, or maybe not as much as Chi-chan does, but Tanabata stands always have interesting things to buy and all kinds of seasonal food. And I get to wear a yukata." Her choice of words is a little strange. It sounds like she's saying that she doesn't like celebrations, but likes doing everything involved with them. I don't know if it's worth pursuing, though. And it could be that I just misunderstood. Yeah, like, sometimes a celebration could be just too much. Okay, so basically, I live in, like, an area that's in droughts, and yesterday was the American, 4th of July, the Independence Day, if you will. So basically, again, fireworks are currently banned because we are in a drought, and there's like a lot of wildfire warnings, and if you look at the country, there's this massive heat wave and stuff. Anyways, so basically, last night, right? So what? Yesterday, in the middle of the first recording, the second recording I did, what me and my family had to do is we put a bunch of stuff in the garage, ready to just like load it up into the van and just go, should there be like a wildfire or something nearby, right? In case we had to evacuate, because there were fires in the area earlier that day. So just in case we had to just move and just get out of there. So yeah, and luckily that didn't happen. But So yeah, so then I did the second recording, then I stopped, and then we were celebrating 4th of July. And of course, even though fireworks are banned right now, some asshole decided, it was like a few blocks away, but someone just started lighting up fireworks, even though we were worried that oh no, something's going to catch on fire. And you know, like, well, there was like police officers in the neighborhood, and they were just going up and down the streets and stuff, and it was like, it was a headache. Like, even though I normally like fireworks, just not this year, because, like, even though it was like the 250th anniversary of the USA, as it were, I just, like, even though, like, they were, like, lighting fireworks and stuff, I just couldn't bring myself to go out there and watch them, because I was just so irritated yesterday that, like, like, do you get... I don't know if what I'm saying makes any sense. Maybe I sound like a bitch, but, like, frankly, I do not want to see someone light themselves on fire, if that makes any sense, or, like, buildings burning down if I don't have to fucking leave. So that's why I just sort of stayed inside, even though people were lighting fireworks outside. But, yeah. So, like, I was worried about everything going to burn down. So, yeah. So, anyways. Like, yeah, I get the not liking celebrations, because, especially in sometimes a celebration isn't exactly desired because of several other circumstances and things like that. So, yeah, I get that. So, what about you, Hee-chan? I am, or else I'd just stay at home, wouldn't I? That's the logical step. Hee-chan, you're not that logical, so that's really surprising. Okay though. I'm just making sure, because you didn't look like that you were having a lot of fun the last time. Me and Chi-chan were a little worried because of that. Hey, I had fun. I guess I ended up appreciating it more than I expected to. Really, Hee-chan? What part of it? Tell me. Well, there were fireworks at the end. They were really nice. I think you slept through them. Aw, I always fall asleep early, but I won't sleep through them this year. I'll definitely stay awake. I don't think they have fireworks during Tanabata. It's a different mood entirely. Maybe you can get Shizune to petition them to have them, though, and move to the fireworks to an earlier time. Maybe I will. That's a great idea, Hee-chan. No, it's not. Don't do that. I wasn't being serious. Although, maybe you would annoy Shizune. You make it sound like you would like that, Hee-chan. Hee-chan, do you like Chi-chan? I can't say yes or no. And sitting down like I am, I can't even smoothly leave. Don't be silly. The one I like is you. Really, Hee-chan? No, you're kidding, right? You must like Chi-chan more. Misha, you jump to conclusions too much. But you almost called her Chi-chan, so I'm right, right? It's because you call her Chi-chan all the time, it got stuck in my head. Osmosing language is common, you know. Besides, one little slip-up, and by your logic, you would like her more than me. And are you making fun of me or something? Wahahaha. Maybe. I'm hungry. Did you eat breakfast, Hee-chan? No, just medicine. Misha twirls her finger lazily in the air to keep her hands busy as she thinks. We should eat something then. Do you think they will be serving breakfast today? That's really the kind of thing a member of the student council should know. I can't say that, though. I'm on the student council and don't know. It didn't seem like anyone was working in the kitchen when I entered the building, but I don't know for sure. Hey, Hee-chan, have you ever heard about those vending machines that you get food from, like burgers, soup, and even pizza? Wouldn't it be great if we had some of those at our school? As an American, right, I would not want to eat a vending machine, I would not want to eat a vending machine heatable food. Like, unless I have to. Like, I don't know, that is just asking for something to go wrong. Plus, like, with, again, like, I'm American, and half that we eat is garbage. So, I'm a little hesitant about that. I'm like, I don't know. I always thought those machines were kind of weird. Imagine how cool it would be if we had machines like that in our school, Hee-chan. It would almost be like magic, wouldn't it? You know, I'm pretty sure schools got rid of a bunch of vending machines for a reason, like when I was a kid. I don't remember it very well, but like, what was it? So yeah, we were like learning about the Super Size Me documentary in health and gym class, and apparently there was a section. It was either by the teacher or the documentary itself, and they were going on about like the health benefits after they removed vending machines from schools. And I honestly can't remember if it was the teacher or the documentary that said that. But anyways, yeah. Hot food coming out of a vending machine? That's so amazing. I would never imagine that. Seeing one of those machines would be like a dream. Hmm? We don't have machines like that in this whole town, though. It's too early to even go into town. I won't be able to eat breakfast. Hee-chan, it's the most important meal of the day. Everyone says so. I want to eat. You're really silly. If it bothers you so much, I'll buy you a soda. Yeah, again, like, this is a very unhealthy lifestyle. Like, even though they're doing shit, like playing games and stuff, I have a distinct feeling that for Hizao's health, this is the, like, least long Hizao is going to live. Like, honestly. Misha puffs out her cheeks and puts on her serious face. Hee-chan, a soda is not breakfast, it's like water. It's not like water, it's a liquid. Water isn't food. Liquid can be food. Now who sounds like Shizune, Misha? I want to say. Even her tone reminds me of Shizune's unblinking, matter-of-fact way of stating the ridiculous. If I did say that, though, I would be the one who sounds like Shizune again. It's terrible. Her competitiveness is really rubbing off on me. Let's look for something to eat, then. Okay. Predictably, our search for food in an empty school building this early in the morning leads only to failure. Misha decides to go off on her own after we both decide to give up for now, vowing to eat breakfast, even though by now it's closer to time for brunch. I go back to my dorm. The following hours tick by slowly, and I pass the time catching up on reading. Some of these books I haven't touched since I was in the hospital. Thinking back on it, it wasn't that long ago, even though it definitely feels like it was. A free day and I can't think of anything to do. I take a short nap as I change for the second time today, and realize that I never actually confirmed with Shizune or Misha when and where we should meet up. I guess that eventually they would come looking for me, but I would look pretty stupid if it came to that. It's already evening, so I should at least make an effort to find them first. Okay. Even though the grounds aren't exactly flooded with people, and it should be impossible to miss Misha's pink hair even if they are, I have a lot of difficulty finding them. Finally, I run into them at the front gate, which is the first place I had looked. Hello? She attempts to punctuate her normal greeting with a grand line sweep. With a grand little sweep at the end. Why do you say grand line? This isn't One Piece. With a grand little sweep at the end. Hee-chan, how are you? It's strange feeling them in It's not feeling them. It's strange seeing them in Yukata. Though I've been seeing Yukata in general all night. Chizune's is simple and tasteful, which seems obvious for her in retrospect. For all her grand flourishes and over-the-top behavior, I think she would rather die than dress the part. What draws my eye is the hairpin she is wearing, a pearl flower that gleams softly in the moonlight. It looks pretty on her, but in a way it also feels out of place, as if it's too elaborate for a high school girl, or maybe someone just as secretly childish as Shizune. Misha's yukata is about what I expected, so it actually fits a little too well. Paired with her bubblegum pink hair, she looks cute, but anachronistic. You two look nice. Thanks, Hee-chan. Hee-chan, you're a little late. We were waiting here a while for you. Did you forget the time or place? Oh well, let's get going, Hee-chan. Misha dropping this line of discussion saves me what could possibly be a pretty embarrassing thing to own up to. Specifically, that I had been looking for them for at least an hour. Seeing Shizune and Misha looking so cheerful, it's not hard to want to fall into the atmosphere and enjoy a nice night out. What bothers me is that I'm having some trouble reading Chizune's signing tonight. I haven't been to sign language class in almost a week, so I'm not surprised. I guess having lost focus for a while, I'm slipping. It certainly wouldn't be the first time. Hold on, where are we going? Into town? Yes. That doesn't make any sense. We haven't checked out what's on the grounds. Unless you two decided to have fun while I wasn't looking. We're going to come back. We'll be working our way up. Either way, Hee-chan, we have to walk into town and then back up if we want to see everything. So this way, after we're done, we'll be right by our dorms when we're tired. It works out perfectly. That is admittedly logical. Shizune doesn't give me much time to argue anyway. She's grabbing me by the arm and lightly trying to pull me along. Alright, well, I'm just gonna save this here. There you go. Okay. Well, wonderful. Alright, I'm just gonna go to the main menu then. Alright then. It's been Dean the Artist. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna take a break for a bit. Then get back into it. Yeah. So, have a nice day. Thank you for watching.